In the game of Dungeon Crawl Classics, the people are represented by two separate but equally important groups. The players who ransack treasure and hunt monsters, and the judges who make sure NPCs prosecute them for their crimes. These are their stories.
This is the Heavy Metal RPG Podcast with your host, BanjoDestructo.
Blimey, it's Judge Julian, and you're listening to Ye Old Heavy Metal RPG Podcast with my mate BanjoDestructo. Carry on, Banjo!
Player introduction. For long years, you labored in the fields like all the peasants, sweating hot and dirty in the summer, only to shiver under threadbare hides when winter came. This year's harvest ended like all the rest, and autumn's work was hard on Old Man Roberts. When you visited his bedside at the end, he spoke in labored breaths of constellations that hadn't been seen since he was a young lad. The last time the empty star had risen in the sky, it was more than 50 winters past, he said. Under the light of that strange star, a portal had opened by the old stone mounds. He had seen jewels in there, and fine steel spears, and enameled armor, but he had run when the Iron Men attacked. Now, old and dying, he wishes he'd taken the chance on a life of adventure. The empty star is once more rising, and a young man with courage could be more than just another peasant. If only he had taken the chance Old Man Roberts didn't. You are taking that chance. You stand before the monolithic rocks of the old stone mounds under the dark light of a starry sky. The empty star is clear and bright above you. 3 of the large stone blocks lean haphazardly together to form an upright rectangular portal about the size of a man. They seem to be placed directly beneath the star's path. As the empty star ascends to its brightest point, its light catches in the portal, and a shimmering, stone-lined corridor is visible through the stones, but only from one side of the opening. Grasping your pitchfork with white knuckles, you step into the star-lit portal which was not there before today. Thoughts of jewels and scorching wheat fields foremost in your mind. Welcome to another episode of the Heavy Metal RPG Podcast. I'm your host, Banjo. Today I'm going to be talking about the Level 0 adventure included in the main core rulebook called The Portal Under the Stars. But before we get to that, I've got an icebreaker question for us. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? And for me, personally, I think I would rather fight 1 horse-sized duck. Now, the question is, you just have to fight it. You don't have to kill it. You could try to tame it somehow. And I really believe if I had one horse-sized duck, if I could ride it, then I'd be the only person in the world with a 1,000-pound duck in the world, and it might even be strong enough that I could fly while riding it. Gives me some strong Heavy Metal the movie vibes. It'd be really awesome riding around with a lance or a rifle or something on a duck that's flying through the air. So that's my question. All right, we have one email question, and if you've got any questions you want to send them to heavymetaladventures@protonmail.com. This email is from Cicero Umbata. It says, "Greetings, you are my long-lost relative, and my last remaining heir. I want to pass on my vast wealth to you." Wait a second. I thought Proton Mail was supposed to be stopping emails like this. Alright, we've got one question here on Reddit from the DCC RPG subreddit. It is from username Dr. Meyerhoff, and he's asking, how many players for Sailors on the Starless Sea? So that's an adventure we haven't talked about yet, but it's one of the early adventures that were published after Dungeon Crawl Classics came out. Now, for me personally, I think when you have more than 5 people at a table, it starts to get kind of unruly. So I would do 4 players, maybe 5 if you can handle it, and I would do 6 level 0 characters for each player. That's how I would do it. If you have any different answers to that, you can leave a comment depending on, where you're listening to this. You can send an email to me. You can join me on the Guilded server that I have started up. And you can join the community we're building there, where we can talk about DCC and other gaming stuff. And now, let's get back to our main topic. Alright, so today I'm going to talk a bit about the Portal Under the Stars. It's a level 0 to level 1 adventure. And I think it's a good intro adventure to the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game. And, it's fairly clever, too. It's included in the main rulebook, so it kind of helps you learn how to play the game and to get into it. And, if you just bought the rulebook, you don't have to buy an adventure to go along with it. I'm looking at the 4th edition, the 4th print edition of the rulebook right now. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4... It's only 5 pages long, so it's a short adventure. There's not a whole lot to read. If you were thinking of writing your own adventures, it's also a fairly good little tutorial on the different things that you could put in an adventure and how you can organize it. It's got an introduction telling you about the adventure, background information that you, as a judge, would want to know, and you could share some of it with the players through going through it if you want. It's got a table of the different encounters for each area on the map. It's got some text that you would read as an introduction to players. It has a map, and the map fits all on one page, which I think is good. It's got some rooms with a cross-sectional view, some that are top-down. It tells you where north is. It's got each area numbered. And so all of that's in the first 2 pages. And then it has the rest of the adventure is just descriptions of each room on the map. I don't want to spoil the adventure for you, even though it's old, so you can enjoy it yourself if you haven't played it yet. But the basic premise of the adventure is that there is an ancient king who created a tomb, and it is sealed based on prophecies and the stellar constellations. And so you might find things inside of this dungeon that would be related to what a 1,000-year-old, 2,000-year-old tomb would be with an old ancient king inside of it. And, I think it's introduces some good mechanics in the game for, getting players through each area. It has good summaries of the monsters that are included in it. And it even has a little, it has some stuff in it that helps introduce you to inspire you to have adventures that take place after this. It has a little introduction at the end for what you might do afterwards. That's it for the spoiler-free discussion about this adventure.
Seeking wealth and escape from their peasant lives, the characters investigate the supernatural portal that appears only once every half-century when the stars are right. The portal leads to the burial tomb of a war wizard of eons past. The characters must fight Iron Men, a demonic snake, the living dead, and a variety of strange statues to recover the treasures left by the war wizard. This adventure is designed for 15 to 20 zero-level characters or 8 to 10 first-level characters. Remember that players should have 2 to 3 characters each, so they can continue enjoying the fun of play even if some of their player characters die off. In playtest groups of 15 zero-level player characters, 7 or 8 typically survive. The author has playtested this adventure with groups of up to 28 player characters and experienced 1 complete total player kill and several sessions with only a handful of survivors. The adventure focus is on traps and tricks rather than combat, as that ensures the greatest likelihood of low-level survival. Nonetheless, there should be an expectation of the lessons of mortality. The author recommends that the judge tweak the challenge of certain encounters on the fly, depending on the size and skill of the adventuring party. Particularly Area 3, which has the potential to wipe out the entire party if they cluster around the doors. Background information. Long ago, a primitive war wizard ruled this land with the aid of barbarian tribes and strange creatures from beyond the stars. When his mortal form was close to expiration, his alien allies instructed him to seal himself away in a protected tomb. Within the tomb, the war wizard would then use astral projection to travel the stars beyond our world. He intended to return later to take possession of his mortal body, which his spirit could do when the stars were properly aligned. However, the war wizard's extraplanar adventures did not go as planned. Now, his body sits perfectly preserved in the tomb he built, protected by enchantments and the remains of his barbarian hordes. If these defenses can be bested, the treasures within are ripe for the taking.
Well, now that we've talked about the basics of the Portal Under the Stars adventure,
I thought it would be fun to go through the process of character creation in Dungeon Crawl Classics and roll up some level 0 characters that maybe we could take through some adventures. In Dungeon Crawl Classics, the first thing you do is you roll your ability scores. So what you would do for that is you roll 3d6 down the line. Now what does down the line mean? It means you roll 3d6 for your first ability score, which is strength. And then you roll another 3d6 for the next one, agility, 3d6 for stamina, and then 3d6 for personality, 3d6 for intelligence, and 3d6 for luck. In some games, there are options for rolling ability scores differently, and some of them let you roll all 6 of your scores and then rearrange them in the order that you want. DCC just makes it simple, so you don't think about it. You just roll it and you get what you got. So for the 4 characters, I've been rolling up. Character 1 has a 15 strength, 9 agility, 13 stamina, 11 personality, 5 intelligence, and 11 luck. Character 2 has 11 strength, 8 agility, 12 stamina, 10 personality, 9 intelligence, and 5 luck. Number 3 has 6 strength, 7 agility, 13 stamina, 11 personality, 3 intelligence, and 18 luck. Very big dichotomy there. And then number 4 has 11 strength, 6 agility, 16 stamina, 14 personality, 3 intelligence, and 7 luck. Some good, some bad. We will keep them for now. And maybe I'll run through Portal Under the Stars with them and record that for you. You would also roll a d4 for the hit points for each character. For character 1, I rolled 2 hit points. Character 2 also rolled a 2. Character 3 rolled another 2. And character 4 rolled 4. So that's 3 hit points, 2, 3, and 6. Now you would also check on table 1-1 the ability score modifier. Depending on the score that you got, you have a modifier between -3 and +3. Anything between 8 and 12 has a +0. And then you would choose alignment. I'm going to skip that for now. You would roll your birth sign luck score. Now, because character 1 has a 0 modifier, I didn't do that. I skipped it. Character 2, their luck score gives them a -2 to spell checks. Character 3 gets a +3 to mounted attack rolls, and character 4 gets a -1 on critical hit tables. And there's a note here that says luck already counts for critical hit tables, so it just doubles the effect of luck. So that would be a -2. And then you roll your occupation. Character 1 is a trapper, and so the trapper comes with a sling and a badger pelt. Character 2 is a rope maker, comes with a knife and 100 feet of rope. Character 3 is a dwarven mushroom farmer, so comes with a shovel and a sack. And character 4 is a beggar, so the beggar comes with a sling and some crutches. After that, you would also get to roll 1 free piece of equipment on the equipment table, table 3-4. Character 1 gets a grappling hook, character 2 gets a crowbar, character 3 gets an oil flask, and character 4 gets a vial of holy water. Now you also can roll up some copper pieces as the pocket money that the characters have. You would roll 5d12.
Character 1 has 35, Character 2 has 48, Character 3 has 30, and Character 4 has 37. After that, if you have enough money, you would be able to purchase some equipment for the characters. If they're, planning on going on adventures, you could think of them as planning a little bit ahead about what they might want to bring with them. Because we've got copper pieces, almost all of the weapons are going to be out of our range because you need 100 copper pieces to equal 1 gold piece. We do have 150 combined together, but I don't know if they would pool their money together in order to just buy a javelin, which is the cheapest weapon in gold pieces. There's also a staff or a dart, but those might not be good. And you also can't really buy any armor, so you would look at things like torches, iron spikes, flint and steel, chalk, candles, maybe water skins, just small sacks. There's a bunch of cheap stuff. I'm going to go ahead and keep that equipment a surprise. And then, once you're done with all that, you could give your characters names. I'm going to go with character 1 is Sam the Trapper, Bill the Rope Maker, Urist the Dwarven Mushroom Farmer, and George the Baker. Alright, so, it doesn't take all that long to roll up characters, and I'll see you in the next segment.
No player characters or non-player characters were harmed in the making of this episode. Stay tuned to find out what happens next. We'll see you all around in the Meadowlands where everybody rolls dice.
Filthy hair and dirty faces, iron faces, swords and maces. 80s hairbands are still hated, no boss metal tolerated.
Hooey! That episode sure took a long time to record and edit. Man, what's gonna happen next? We got some characters to use. We're gonna use them in adventures? Who can say? What are we gonna do next? I don't know. People keep doing episodes about everything. Who even has an original idea anymore? I sure don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Well, it's all pointless speculation at this point. I hope y'all have fun now. Gotta mosey on out here. Cops gonna chase me soon, but they won't get me. No, Banjo's a slippery snake. Alright, y'all take care. Later.